Hi, it's Dr. Bill. We're going to talk about sleep tonight. So we're going to pan over and we're going to look at a slideshow. We're going to show you a bunch of different things here tonight. So first of all, best sleep ever. That's what we're promising. We're going to give you some great tips on how to sleep better. First of all, how much sleep do we need? Well, it's different. Little babies sleep like all the time. Little teeny kids sleep 12 to 14 hours. Teens sleep the least of all, which you probably already know that. That's why a lot of people have said, including this book, that is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. A lot of the stuff I'm going to get is out of this book. And he says one of the problems with teens is that they shouldn't have to get up early and their schooling should actually start later in the day. I know some schools have done that, and that's actually working better for them. And as you get older, it seems like you sleep less because you have more body issues and have to go to the bathroom more in the middle of the night. But 8 hours of sleep for most all adults is what is ideal. Less than that, and you're actually cutting into a whole bunch of things. We're not going to talk a lot about this pros and cons. I can send you out a PowerPoint and some slides that describe this a little bit better. But basically, it's safe to say that if you're sleeping well enough, then you are recuperating, you're rejuvenating, you're helping your body restore itself. And if you're not, then that is cumulative and you get worse and worse and worse. Sleep deprivation is obviously one of the worst tortures in the world. And it's something that none of us should ascribe to have. And obviously young mothers we empathize with the most because they're struggling because they don't get to sleep enough. So we're going to talk about some ways to help that out. This quote in the book is, sleep is the most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body health each day. Obviously, caffeine's not going to help. Jet lag, we're not going to talk about. Melatonin, circadian rhythms, all are extremely important in sleep. One of the things I didn't know before I read the book, we all know what REM sleep is. It's rapid eye movement. It actually means that you're dreaming and you're in a dream state. You're not at the deepest level of sleep there because your body's still processing. Your eyes are doing that rapid eye movement. NREM means not rapid eye movement. That's the deeper sleep. So if you look at the waves here, the NREM sleep is actually a better state to be in than is REM sleep. And this book talks about that. Basically, you need to create an environment. We'll talk about that at the end. We have 12 different tips on how to sleep more effectively and better. We didn't have the sleep quiz. How do we compare to animals? One that sleeps the most is the bat. Elephant sleeps a lot too. Lions and tigers sleep the least because they're predators. So, what's the leading cause for car accidents? Well, let me see. We're talking about sleep. I'm guessing that sleep is actually more than drunk driving is actually lack of sleep. So that's a big deal. We don't function as well. And actually, one of the things I also learned in the book is called a micro sleep. So it's not like you sleep, all of a sudden fall asleep for half an hour. It's a 1 to 2 second sleep. But if you're going 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, even 40 miles an hour, never a good time to not be present and awake and alert for 1 to 2 seconds. So that's a huge deal and one of the things that we got. This doctor is not very big on sleeping pills, Dr. Walker. Talks about a lot of research that it forces the body into an unnatural state of affairs. It's not good for us. So a much better thing is that we eat right, that we exercise. I have a sleep app on my phone, and it actually measures, because I also have an Apple Watch, it measures how many steps in a day I have, and it tells me I'm going to sleep better because I had exercise that day. If you eat right, if you don't eat too late at night, again, one of the tips we're going to talk about when we get to that at the end here, you don't want to eat too late at night. You certainly don't want to have caffeine late at night. You want to be doing good things for your body all day, and it will reward you with sleep. Okay, so we're going to get right into the 12 tips. I don't know that you can see this. I will be happy to send this out to anybody who would like it, and I'm going to go through them one at a time. So stick to a regular sleep schedule. Again, the sleep app that I have, which is free, actually measures my regularity of going to bed. So it recommends even during the weekend that the better you can go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time, That's what your body craves and what it wants. That helps the circadian rhythm, that helps do it better. I do empathize with people that work shift work or that work at night, because it's going to be more of a challenge for that individual to get that normal circadian rhythm going. One of the studies that Dr. Walker talks about is two individuals volunteered to go in the deepest cave in the world, and I don't remember the name of it, but they went in with this no light, no contact with the outside world, and they were there for 1 month. They still had circadian rhythms. They still knew when they were supposed to go to sleep and when they would wake up, and they recorded all of this as scientific equipment. So it's a really big deal. Number 2, exercise. We already talked about that. At least 30 minutes a day, but not closer than 3 hours to bedtime. Again, you don't want to have your body in a state of increased activity and adrenaline flowing when you're trying to go to bed. Avoid nicotine and caffeine. Avoid alcoholic drinks, especially before bed. Avoid large meals and beverages late at night. Avoid medications that delay or disrupt your sleep. So that's something you have to look at, whatever medications you need. And if you do take sleeping pills, what that means. Don't take naps after 3 p.m. I actually have mastered the art of the power nap, and I've been doing it since I was 19 to 21 when I did serve an LDS mission in Italy, and I would just take my little tie, put it across my eyes, boom, I'd sleep for 10, 15 minutes, maybe a half hour, and I've been able to do that for the rest of my life. I highly recommend that. Relax before bed, reading and listening to music. That kind of thing can help soothe things. Now, I don't know, one of these is, it does not actually talk about blue lights, but it should. Watching TV, looking at screens, that's not a good thing to do within the hour or so before you go to bed. Relax before bed, I already said that. Hot bath or shower. Now, at first I thought this was a bad idea, but I've actually been doing it now for about a year, and it actually does help you cool down because you get in the warm shower, then you get out of the warm shower, and your body cools down, and it's awesome. I said, oh my gosh, it's going to totally wake me up. It's not the case. I would highly recommend it. If you haven't ever done it or you haven't tried it for a while, I would definitely recommend warm shower or a hot bath before you go to bed. And it also makes it easier in the morning. So in the morning, if you've already shaved and showered, then you just have that much less to have to do in the morning, and off you go. And I've been doing it, like I said, for about a year, and it's awesome. Okay, so here's some clues that you probably have heard of. Dark bedroom, needs to be dark. Cool bedroom, gadget-free bedroom, no blue lights for bedtime. I knew it was in there somewhere. 2 more. Right amount of sunlight exposure in the daytime. Vitamin D is awesome. Get sun. You see, I actually had a little too much. We helped our daughter paint her house, and I didn't have a hat on during that. Not too much, but not too little. And finally, this is an interesting one that I didn't know. Don't lie in bed awake for a long time. He suggests that if you just simply cannot sleep, then get up and do something until you get sleepy again. So find that book that you know will put you to sleep, or whatever it is. If you have to get out of bed, he recommends doing that. And again, he suggests not taking pills, but instead consulting with a CBTI expert, which stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomniacs. There are some around. I did look that up, and I Googled it a couple months ago. There are some in both Utah County and Salt Lake County, so you could look that up. Okay, so those are our tips. Now we're going to go some additional tips. I'm going to go through them first, and then we happen to be in a bedroom, and we are going to take a look at what they positions of sleeping. So first of all, you do need a good pillow. If you sleep on your back, you have to have a pillow that supports your head. And a lot of you, when you come into the office, those of you that are patients come to the office, I show you the difference between when you are just propping your head up versus when you're supporting your neck and your head at the same time. Huge difference. That's the pillow. We're going to show that in a second. You want a good mattress. You want the mattress to be able to support you in the lower back. Here's our little handy dandy spine. Lower back goes in, mid back goes back, and here's the neck here. So the neck is the pillow. And here, if you're on your side, then that supports everything kind of evenly. This is if you don't have a fantastic pillow, mattress, I would recommend side sleeping because it's kind of neutral. Your mattress has to give where you have your pelvis and your shoulders, which would be right here. So side's good. Stomach is a no-no. Don't ever, ever, ever sleep on your stomach. That's a no-no. You have to jack your neck up all night long, and that's not good for you. So that leaves us going on our back. So again, if you have a good mattress, it's going to support the lower back. It's going to give away there, and it's going to support the neck when you have a good pillow. So that's the good pillow and good mattress. All right, so now I'm actually going to demonstrate a couple things. So if we come over this way, I'll take off my glasses so I don't damage them. So I am going to show first the side sleeping. The most common mistake that most people make on side sleeping, I actually do have a pillow that has a contour to it. The most common mistake that most people have, number one, don't do weird things with your arms. It should not be a big mystery if you put your arm like this all night long or some other weird thing like that you're going to have shoulder and wrist problems. Don't do that. So what you should do on your side is have it on something like this. You can have it down like that, but somehow that you're not doing weird contortions with your arms. Okay, number two biggest issue is that you want to have your legs like I have them. You don't want to do this. And a lot of people that have lower back pain in the morning is because they're arching, their leg is going forward, and you can see that's causing stress on my pelvis and lower back, and that's not a good thing. So legs here, and if you in fact need to put a little pillow in there to keep that from happening, then that would be a good thing. So that's on the side, nothing weird here. You want your head level. You don't want it popped up. You don't want it down. You want it level and not extending the leg forward. And finally on your back, which is my preferred way of sleeping, is again, a good mattress supports your lower back. In fact, the test for a good mattress is what's happening right now. If you can easily put your hand underneath the lower back, that means the bed's too hard. If you can't get it in there at all, it means it's too soft. You want a support in there that actually the bed is actually coming up to meet you, and that's what you want. Again, you don't want to do weird things with your arms, do some strange thing. I actually have my arms down by my side usually, sometimes like this, but down and relaxed. You want a pillow that is not doing this, but it's actually supporting the neck so that you have support underneath your neck all night long, and that's what you want to do. If you want to cross your legs, it's not as bad because you're keeping your pelvis straight. It's better if you can have your legs like that. Some people need a little pillow underneath their legs because it actually takes pressure off the lower back, and that's what you want. So side or back, never, never, never on your stomach because it's going to twist your neck all night long. So to close, I'll simply say a couple things. Sleeping is something that we don't usually give a lot of thought to. Sometimes we just say, oh, yeah, well, I didn't sleep very good last night. Some people are proud of that. It's one of the things that the book talks about. Some people say, oh, hey, I only got 2 hours of sleep last night. Isn't that awesome? No, it's not awesome. It's terrible. So you need to get sleep. You need to help your kids sleep. If you're having particular issues with babies, then chiropractic on the one hand can actually help calm down the nervous systems. But number two, we do actually have a pediatric sleep consultant. We'd be happy to give you her name is Maylin Boer. We'd be happy to give you more information about her. She's come to our office a couple times. We'll have her come back again and done a pediatric sleep consultant workshop. Told all kinds of things that I didn't know. We have 6 kids and somehow they slept relatively well, as I recall. So that's a good thing. So finally, you need to put more emphasis on getting a good night's sleep. Pillow is pretty inexpensive. $50 to $100, you can get a great pillow. Like go online, look up the reviews and see what there is. Mattresses are more expensive. My big thing about mattresses is you have to have that support and you need to have airflow so that the body actually doesn't get stuck on it. The older Tempur-Pedic ones, mattresses, I know you kind of felt stuck on and there wasn't enough air breathing. So I would discourage that kind of a mattress. We have a version of a Purple or an IntelliGel mattress ourselves, and this is not that, it's in the other room. So a mattress is a big deal, and then just reward yourself with sleep. Figure out a way to make it happen. There was a period of time my wife actually would literally set an alarm to go off 8 hours later from whatever she went to bed. So went to bed at 10, that would be 6. Went to bed at 11, that would be 7. Went to bed at 10:30, it would be 6:30, etc. So that's something that at first you may say, well, I could never sleep that long. Well, your body really wants that and it needs that, and kids need that as well. So these are the tips we have. Be happy to send you any of the slides, any of the information, any of the tips, and hopefully you're all going to sleep better. You reward yourself, and everybody's going to be happier. When people are sleeping better in the house, everybody's happy. Thanks for listening.